So what is this ABC method I want to teach you and is gonna help you to fix any behavior? Let me talk you through this. Let's say we have a kiddo, her name is Savannah. Savannah cries and screams and falls to the floor and yells and won't listen every single time mom or dad says it's time to do homework. After Savannah does this, or while Savannah's doing this, mom comes over and she tries to calm her down, as any good mom would do. Hey, calm down, it's okay, we always have to do homework. How about I play some study music? Sister, who's in the same room doing homework, she's frustrated to no end, and she's like, maybe if I give her my pen. Here, Savannah, you want a pen? It'll help you do your homework. Just calm down, I can't concentrate. And Dad, who wasn't even in the room, he comes in and reprimands her. Savannah, you know it's time to do your homework. We do this every time. Why are you behaving like this? Dad has a bright idea. Maybe Savannah's hungry. So he tells mom, maybe she's hungry. And mom now offers her, hey, you want cheese toast? You want some cookies? And dad says, hey, yeah, give her some cookies and some chips. Now she can go ahead and do her homework. And now Savannah gets to doing her homework. This is our scenario. All right, so now that we've got our scenario, where do we start with this ABC method? We start at our B. Our B stands for behavior. Why do we start at the behavior? Well, because we need to be very clear about what is the behavior, what is the bad thing Savannah's doing that we don't want her to do anymore. Let's think back. She's crying, she's yelling, she's falling to the floor, she's not listening. This is our behavior. Let's call it a meltdown. I'm sure some of you guys out there, parents, you're resonating with this. Oh my gosh, have you met my child? Yes, I have met your child. And I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do about this. Now that we're clear on what the behavior is, now we're gonna take a step back and we're gonna go to our A. Our A stands for antecedent. That's our fancy term that means what happened right before the B, right before the bad behavior we don't wanna see. We didn't really go through this in our scenario, but obviously Savannah was not doing homework, right? Because mom said, hey, it's time to do homework. Most likely she was doing something else that's not homework. So it was most likely a preferred activity that she was doing. And then mom said, let's do homework. And then we saw this meltdown behavior. Now we're gonna jump to this C. This is the most important part. The technical term for this is consequence. This literally just means what is the thing that happened in response to Savannah's bad behavior. Again, we want to remember what that behavior is and be very clear about the picture we paint, because then we want to contrast that bad behavior with, well, what if she had done the right thing? What would have been the right thing to do when mom says, hey, it's time to do your homework? For her to say, okay, and do her homework. But she didn't. She had that meltdown instead of doing the right thing. Now, because she had that meltdown or the bad behavior, what in her environment changed that wouldn't have been like that if she had just been like, okay, let's do homework. First, her mom tries to calm her down. Calm down, let's get some study music. And then her sister tries to help her out and calm her down and appease her. Hey sister, do you want stickers? Do you want my pen? Even her sister gave her some verbal input, mom gave her verbal input, and then dad comes in. Who knows where dad was? He wasn't in the room, so dad comes in, and now he's giving her some verbal input in the form of a reprimand. He's trying to get her on track, but nonetheless, he came from somewhere. Now he's engaging with her, and he suggested maybe she's hungry, and so now mom gives her food options. And then dad decides, hey, I think cookies and chips are good. So we go through this list, what happened right after the bad behavior, and we're figuring out if Savannah had done what she was supposed to compared to what she ended up doing, what would life have been like? She would have been sitting there doing homework with none of this stuff. No study music, no cookies, no stickers, no pens, no dad from the other room. But because she had her bad behavior, guess what? She got all of this input. All right, so let me take you out of this scenario for a moment while I explain to you what we're going to use to figure out why Savannah's having this bad behavior and what she's getting out of it. As a behaviorist, we believe there are 4 functions to anybody's behavior. Anybody that has a behavior, which is something they do, good or bad, there's only 4 different reasons that they do it. Attention, they're getting some type of social input, some type of notice or being seen by other people. Access, meaning that they're getting a thing, something tangible they can see, feel, maybe even do or engage in that they didn't previously have. Escape or avoidance, that means that they're getting out of something generally, and this is something they don't want. They don't like it, they don't want it, they don't prefer it, and either they're not having to get into it, which is avoidance, or they're doing it, but now they get to escape it or get out of it. Sensory, this means that there is some type of interaction within their body that is pleasurable, or there's some type of interaction in their body that is alleviating something that's uncomfortable. We call this sensory function. So our 4 functions again: attention, access to tangible, escape avoidance, or sensory. So now that we understand what our 4 functions are, what the 4 different reasons are a child or an individual might have behaviors, let's jump back into our scenario and try to figure out what's going on with Savannah. What is she getting out of this bad behavior? Savannah had her bad behavior, her meltdown, and immediately mom is asking her to calm down, it's okay, right? So what function would that fall into? Is she getting seen, heard by someone in the environment? Yes, so we're gonna say that falls into attention. 1 tick for attention. But mom gives her now access to study music. I just gave it away, it's access. 1 tick for access. Then what happens? Sister comes over, so sister was obviously somewhere else, and now sister comes over and she starts talking to her. We got another tick for attention. But sister now gives her a pen and offers her stickers, right? So we got 2 more ticks for access. And now remember what happens next. Dad comes from somewhere. Who knows where dad was? But he comes from somewhere and now he starts giving verbal interaction. Reprimand, but verbal interaction to Savannah. Where does that fall? That falls in attention, right? Dad wasn't around and now because of Savannah's bad behavior, he's around. So that's attention. And now he's giving her verbal input. That's attention. But then again, remember, dad now offers, hey, I think she's hungry. And because of that, mom's like, you want a sandwich, you want cookies, and dad's like, give her cookies and chips. So now Savannah gets cookies and chips. So we have some attention from dad, but more access, right? More things Savannah got in her life. It's no wonder she turned off her behavior. She just got all of this stuff based on having a bad behavior. And now she does her homework. Savannah is now doing her homework. Plus, it's Christmas, she's got all this stuff. What we're gonna do, understanding that Savannah had her bad behaviors, it got her a little bit of attention, but a lot of access. We're gonna help Savannah learn how to switch up her currency. So bad behavior is what got her all this stuff, bought her all this stuff. Now we're gonna give her a new currency of good behavior, more appropriate behaviors to still get her the stuff. This is where I want to take a little bit of a pause and let you guys know I've seen a lot of behaviors in all of my years that they're really great at like making the tantrum stop, making the meltdown stop. But the reason why it doesn't stick past them being there in the home with the parent is because they've not given the child a new currency, a new way to get what they need, a new way to get access to this stuff and get attention from everybody around. So we have to remember the function of Savannah's bad behavior, the function of your child's bad behavior, the behavior you don't want to see. If we miss the function, then we're just going to take away their currency, but we're not going to give them a new way to still get those needs fulfilled. So now I'm going to train you on how to teach your child the new, more appropriate currency to still get their needs met. All right, so what are we going to teach her? What are you going to train her to get her needs met? She needs a little bit of attention. She needs a lot of stuff. How about this? How about, you know, parent, when it's going to be homework time or time to brush your teeth or bedtime or time to go to church or whatever your kid doesn't really prefer. You know when that time is going to be. How about you set up a contingency? That simply means the parent would have said, hey, Savannah, we're going to have snacks. What snacks do you want to have after you do your homework? Oh, you want cookies and chips? That sounds like a great idea. And how about this? When you get halfway through your homework, you can go and show dad, or you can call dad to come over and see it. Now you're giving Savannah a better way to get her needs met. She's getting attention from you, obviously right now, and also she will be getting attention from dad, and you've already told her what she needs to do to be able to get access to those things that she wanted. You could even throw in, hey Savannah, it's time for homework. What study music do you want to listen to? So pretty much parent, you want to think about, my kid had these bad behaviors, what were they getting? How can I train my kid to have good behaviors and still get the same thing? And then also you want to be mindful of, if every time my child does this bad thing, I do this or give them this, then it's okay to give it to them kind of for free. Every time my kiddo has a bad behavior, I remember I'm supposed to turn on the study music. It helps them calm down. It's a great idea before they have bad behaviors to turn on the study music. If you don't, your child, so smart, they're learning bad behavior equals study music, chips, and cookies, and stickers, and pens. And we don't want to teach our kids that their bad behaviors get them what they want. We want to teach them, you can do better. Here's some better things you can do to get what you want. So I hope this gave you guys a good idea about what the ABC method can do for you and your child's bad behaviors. Take a deeper dive with me as I go into more attention behaviors and what to do about those, more access behaviors and what to do about those, more of the escape and also the sensory. And we just dive in and figure out how we can become super fluent at helping our kiddos to not have those bad behaviors, but have new and better behaviors to get their needs met.